In the last video, some people asked why I tested the card outside instead of inside an ITX case. The reason why I usually check the card on an open-air test bench is I don't want a case to affect the card's performance. We have cases with good airflow, cases with bad airflow, cases with side panel too close to the card which can affect the noise, or cases with extra fans. Heck, I even have the case which I can install the card outside. Those factors when installing the card in a case do not give us the idea of how the card can perform. And that's why not only me, but many other YouTubers test their big graphic cards on the test bench. That justifies the main reason, which is I want to milk more content, which makes me more money. Have you seen how expensive this card is? For part 2 of the colorful iGame RTX 5070 Mini, I will install it in the SGPC K39 V3, which I plan to bring it with me when I travel abroad next month. When I purchased the card, I also grabbed an Enhance 600W flex power supply. This power supply is not only fully modular, but also has a 12V high power cable, which helps me avoid using the adapter as we do not have much space for the cables. To start, we need to strip the case completely. I removed both the side panels, the rear panel, and the spine of the case. Next, I installed the MSI B650i motherboard. On it, I have the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, 32GB of RAM, 2 NVMe SSD, and the cooler is the Thermalright AXP90X47 full copper. As my PSU is fully modular, I plugged in the 24-pin and the EPS cables to the board. I also installed the PCIe riser cable. I already ordered a Gen 5 riser, but since it is still on its way, I stick with a Gen 3 for now. After that, I installed the spine back to the case. I also plugged in the USB cable and the power button to the motherboard. Next, I plugged the cable into the power supply. Then, I slid the PSU into the case. I moved on to plugging the 12V high power cable into the RTX 5070 Mini. The PSU can support up to 450W GPU, so if you plan to use this power supply with a 5090, stop it, get some help. I encountered a really big issue. The USB port of the case blocked the card. I tried removing the USB cable, but SGPC superglued both the USB ports into the PCB or the power button. I used my kitchen knife to slowly trim away the insulator. You can see that I cut really close and did touch the blue insulator of the inside cable. Even then, the card still need to push against the cable so that I could screw the PCIe riser to the case, so it was a really tight fit, but we still managed to have the card installed. After that, I attached the rear panel to the case as well as secure the card. If you don't have any 2.5-inch drive, the build is done. For me, I finished it by installing 2 SSDs, giving me a total of 5.5TB of storage. The build is now done. For the CPU side, I tried to hide the annoying USB cable behind the black 24-pin power cable. For the GPU side, it looks really nice. The black and texture GPU and SATA cables really match with the black RTX 5070. What do you think? Next, let's check out how the system performs when we pack everything inside a tiny case. So the K39 is one of the examples which we stress the GPU temperature. The front panel completely blocked the card from pushing the heat out. I did feel some heat escaping around here of the side panel, but it was really minimal. Most of the hot air is pushed to the top and rear of the case. It is highly recommended to undervolt the GPU. The contrast between that and the stock voltage is 10 degrees Celsius, while the gaming performance is not much different. Also, somehow the stock GPU voltage increased the CPU temperature by around 3 degrees Celsius. For the iGame RTX 5070 Mini, I really like the card because of the difference in temperature between the card inside a tiny case versus on my test bench. I was expecting it to be 10 degrees Celsius, but the difference for my max temperature is only 6 degrees when unvolted and 8 degrees when ran as stock. And by the way, the USB port is working totally fine. With the build is complete, I think I would be ready to bring it along with me on the plane. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.